I'm very proud to be here. It's a privilege to be here. Thanks, Harven, for the invitation and IFAMA. And as Guilherme from Ouro Fino is here. He said in his speech, he was the last obstacle to the lunch. I'm the first one after the lunch, and so it's very challenging to be here and entertain you. And so I'm Carlos. I'm not the founder of FESA. Where is the? Here. Sorry. And FESA is a Brazilian company, 100% Brazilian company. We started at 1995 as a recruitment company focused on C-level positions. And so at that time, we were one of the first company to focus on that. And we have the purpose to transform work environments and people to be happy at the work. We believe that you can be happy from Monday to Monday and not just only the weekends. So work is a large part of our life, and so you have to connect with a good company, with your culture, with your behaviors, and etc. So we help companies and people to do this match. And during the years, I joined company in 2002 as an analyst, and I had the opportunity to grow with the company. And during the years, we expand our service. We saw a lot of demand in the HR area to talk about the leadership journey and not just to recruit. Recruit is the first part, and you have another big part from the journey to complete. And so we expand our service in assessment centers, succession plans, organization design, culture projects, etc. Most recently, of course, that we are following how technology is impacting every segment, and we decided to create a corporate venture capital, and we create FESA X4. We invested in HR companies, HR techs. We have 3 investments, and these companies, we believe that they can be part of our portfolio, or they can complete our service, okay? We believe that the service with product is the best solution for human resources area. And the last one, as Anati said, my preferred brand is FESA Chroma. Chroma is, em português, is criando e reconhecendo oportunidades de mudar o amanhã. We engage young people in vulnerability situation to have a reference for their careers. We educate them, we prepare them for the interviews to start the career, and it's a very proud job. Every year we recruit more than 700 executives. To complete these projects, we have to evaluate more than 70,000 executives, and so there is a lot of information in our database about the profile that clients needs, the profile that we encounter in the market. More than 400 customers, and in the non-profit area, we impact more than 1,500 young people. Okay, agribusiness in our company is treated as a specialized area. We have 8 offices in Brazil. 4 of them has a specific team to cover the agribusiness segment. Goiânia, taking care of course the Goiás state and the Center-East. Minas Gerais, Campinas, to cover the state of São Paulo, and of course São Paulo City, making the relationship with the big companies, with the headquarters that most of them are based in São Paulo. So in the total, it represents around 20% of our business. If you can imagine, more than 700 recruitments. So we are talking about 100 and 120 executives recruited by us every year for agribusiness companies. Okay. What is competing for talent in agribusiness? I could stay here 2 days talking about it. I try to resume. Of course, that the sub-segments in agribusiness are very expanded. And so agrochemical industries is known as the best formers of talents in Brazil. Companies as BASF, Bayer, Syngenta, etc., they are known by the talent programs, and they high retention, and of course that acceleration package for develop these executives. Bioindustry, it's a brand new players, even multinational companies and national companies. It's very difficult to find the mix of technical skills and soft skills in this area. Distribution segment, of course, that most of you knows that had a lot of investments in private equities, and what reflects in salary inflations, and a lot of executives come to this segment. Machinery and equipment, it's just a correction, it's not 2022, it's 2024, sorry. They achieved a record sales, as I heard, in this year in Agri Show. So it's a very solid and a very important segment for the Brazilians. Fertilizers, of course, very impacted with the war between Russia and Ukraine. For us, the reflect was companies looking much more for supply and operations executives, much more than the front office, like sales, marketing, etc. Okay. Investments from India in Chinese investments with new models end-to-end. It changed a little bit the way that the executives place and the executives adapted to the company. The energy matrix was based here in sugar mills. It was a very it is a very traditional market. The executives, they don't have the frequency to change the segments. They, as we said in Brazil, they change for the same segment but different companies. And now maybe with the corn investments, it must change, and we see with a lot of opportunities here. Okay, and ESG, as we saw before the lunch, I think, in my opinion, the E from the ESG is very development and agribusiness. We saw wonderful projects here from Amagi, Minerva, Orofino, etc. In my opinion, there's a huge field to follow and to move on. When we talk about women equity in leadership positions, black people, etc., I think that Brazil has to move faster than we are doing. Okay. And in the last 2 years, these were the main areas that FASER recruited professionals. We call CEOs, but could be any number one positions, okay? Country managers, general managers, etc. So we recruited number ones for crop protection, seeds, machinery, almost all of the sub-segments. The director's position, just the first one reporting to the CEO. Commercial, it's a spoiler, okay? Commercial is always the most warm position. Every company is changing the commercial area every time. Commercial, marketing, supply. Supply, as I said, is a huge impact from the war in Ukraine, okay? And the middle management positions, we have an operation to cover the middle management positions also. Commercial and marketing and supply repeat. And I would like to highlight the HR position, as we are talking about talent leaderships and talent development. HR area in most of Brazilian companies, they still doing as a manager and not as a C-level. Sometimes reporting to the CFO, reporting to the operations, and of course that it reflects in what we see, the lack of talents, the lack of good people being formed in the segment. It's not a privilege from agribusiness, okay? It happens in all segments. Agribusiness is just one of them, but we can find it in consumer goods, also in Brazil, in other segments. And so I think that the shareholders and the CEOs must to review the paper and the role of the HR area. Okay, sometimes we see companies with 5,000, 10,000 employees, and the how can I say, the chair of HR is too small for the size of the company. The most required competence, inspirational leadership. Of course, that nowadays you have to be connected with the purpose of the company. You have to say it to your team. Sorry. It's not the old way to manage people. I say what do you have to do, and you just do it. You have to be part of the team. You have to engage. You have to done the job with them. Multicultural experience. Nowadays, the companies are rating better candidates who had the opportunity to work in different segments, in different cultures, and not anymore the candidate or the professional that spend a lot of time in the same company. Stakeholders management, negotiation and influence. This is very important because when we say negotiation, it means commercial, or we connect with the commercial area, and it's not that. Every time that we recruit a technical position or an agribusiness director, for example, he has to negotiate timelines, budget, team, etc. And so the ability to sell your idea, sell your project in any area, okay? Conscientiousness and empathy, and learn agility. Learn agility is not to learn to code or how to do an algorithm, but it's, of course, how the technology impacts your role, impacts your day-to-day, and how can I be smarter, how can I be faster, and how can I use the technology to be a better professional, okay? And my time is up. I will hurry a little bit. Challenges in identifying, attract, and retain talent. Brazil has a peculiarity. We still having regional concentration, so some candidates and also the Brazilians are not how can I say, people from Brazil they want to stay together with the family, together with the friends, and etc. So the mobility to another place, to another country, to another areas is more difficult than others. And lack of technical and people skills. Of course, that resilience, adaptability, and empathy, as I said, is very, very important. And many potential candidates are not connected with executive search companies or even with LinkedIn, believe it or not. We have difficult to connect or to identify who is the person who manage a position in one company. So take my advice, if you want to be contacted by a headhunting company, keep your LinkedIn updated, okay? Challenge in attraction, of course, that the global companies, they have a very strong brand, employee brand, mixed with good package. In crisis moments like we are passing, candidates are more, they have more fear to move from a new company or a new player here in Brazil. They prefer to stay in a safer position. And lack of clear purpose, I would like to highlight, or connection with innovation and sustainability. Themes that are highly valued by the new generations. If you don't say why do your business, why do your company exists, if you don't say it to the new generation, it's hard to attract. Okay. Retention is a little bit repeated. I'd like to highlight the commercial pressure. Of course, that work-life balance nowadays is one of the top 3 themes, topics in HR area, and how to ask for results, but as to how to keep the work-life balance. It includes the model, if you are remote or presential, etc. And so it's very, very important to retain your team. And in practical terms, compensation is still driving the candidate's decisions, the top three. You can fit the culture, you can enjoy the challenge, okay, the position is good, the company is good, but how much the company will pay me? and people ask me, the clients ask me, how much I have to offer to the candidate, and the candidate also asks me how much this position pay. And so in terms of, in general, recruitment, I bring here some information. I will not pass one by one. I will just highlight the moving the position in the new frontier regions because it's very peculiar for agribusiness. In remote parts of the Brazil, it's very often you include a higher hiring bonus to convince the candidate to accept the proposal. Okay, and the extra is pretty much the same. Okay, I will leave my email and feel free to contact me. My time is gone. Thank you, Anna, and thank you all the panelists.